Well, you kind of just went into what is salvation, but
Oh yeah, well yeah, salvation is that, putting your faith and your trust in Christ, in God. In John 3:16, the story of Nicodemus comes to Jesus at night and he asks the question, what must I do, or what does the person need to do? And Jesus tells him the story about how that someone needs to come to faith. And John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes on him wouldn't perish but have everlasting life. And that it's this idea about whoever believes in Christ, will be saved. So there's that saving faith. And then John 1:12 says that to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. So there's this idea and component of salvation is I believe in Jesus, that he is who he is, that he paves the way to God, opens the door to God for me, that he forgives me of my sins, and because of him, I am in right relationship with God. I get to be called a child of God. And so salvation is knowing God, having that relationship with him. My sins are, in spite of me, my sins are removed from me by grace. Ephesians 2:8-9. So we can kind of go all over the place. But bottom line is that it's an active belief in Jesus. And because I believe in Jesus, I'm going to follow after Jesus. Yeah. Which is way different than just saying, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, but I keep living the same way I've been living, doing the things I've been doing. And, how come things aren't changing? Well, because you're not letting God change you. Which is, seems pretty simple to me, but boy, it confuses a lot of people.
Yeah. I think that was something that was confusing for me growing up. It was hearing people say that they were Christians, but then not seeing any evidence, any fruit,
Yeah.
And that I think that taught me a valuable lesson in just understanding, does someone, is their trust in Jesus really sincere versus just kind of a shallow understanding or
and that was always an issue for me too, because there were people that would pray a prayer but they didn't really mean what they said in the prayer, a prayer of salvation or to receive Christ. And for some that minute you saw a change. For others they just kind of repeated the words and then kept on doing their own thing, and they would occasionally say, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, but then their lifestyle didn't show any change, or it got even worse. That I had the same issue. It was challenging to me. I don't know about if you had this at school or not, but I remember in high school I knew kids who were part of different churches, and I was a part of a church, that wasn't the same ones that they went to, and I saw their lifestyle, and they proclaimed to be Christian, but I saw them doing things that I, as a Christian, would never ever think about doing. And it challenged me, going, well, I don't know what's that all about? How does that work? And so it was something that really took me some time to kind of reconcile.